with the heat. People in the mountains know how to deal with the snow up north, and those folks know how to deal with rain and weather. Riding their bikes around, all that stuff. Anyway, yeah, we get a lot of rain. So this morning, I don't know, about 8:15, it came rolling through the city. And I was like, man, this is just going to wreck folks' Jazz Fest. I hope this ends soon. And it did exactly that. Around 9:15, 45-minute, maybe an hour at the most. Rain in New Orleans. And the good thing is, not only was it kind of a quickie, but it stopped about 2 hours before the gates opened in Gentilly. And also, folks aren't all arriving at 11. A lot are. But folks are arriving at 11:30, 12, 12:30, 1, 2, 3. Folks are arriving pretty steady through like 1:30, 2 o'clock. And then they keep coming in, just not as, thick a crowd as, say, when the gates open at 11 till 2. The point is, time for the fest to dry out a little bit. And it wasn't like that much rain. If anything, it kind of maybe going to keep dust from flying around when the wind's blowing, which it's not blowing, but it's a little breezy out there right now, and it's nice. Partly cloudy, partly sunny, however you want to look at it. But a nice day. Rain early, AM only. Like I said, a quickie and gone. 85 degrees. Maybe rain tomorrow. Saturday doesn't look good. But what do those damn meteorologists know anyway? 90% chance of rain like on Saturday. But that could be overnight. That's what I'm hoping. Hope it's going to rain like midnight to 5 a.m. Let it rain. Sunday, the opposite of Saturday. If Saturday looks like, really good chance it's going to rain, 90%, 80%, Sunday's gorgeous. Maybe that rain's bringing in a pseudo cool front in April. May now. What am I saying? May 1st. We're in May. So, no, Sunday, 67 to 79. That's nice. A little bit cooler in the morning. We've been waking up to like 70, 71, 72, and then creeping up to like 85, 86. Like right now, 85 degrees. Sunday, 67 to 79. That would be a nice way to end Jazz Fest. Sunday weekend for everybody else. A Sunday in the 70s, because there aren't too many of those left. We're fading out of the non-summer season, and we're about to fade into a good 5.5, 6 months of New Orleans summer season, heat and humidity. It's a-coming. Hey, it is May 1st. Our Humane May fundraiser has officially begun. You can go to humanela.org right now. At the top of the page, you'll see me laying there with Blue Boy. Click on that. And then it says donate, and click on that and use a credit card, a debit card, and donate. Please do it right now. humanela.org. We're trying to raise $10,000. That's it. I think it's an easy goal. We're going to, with inflation and the like, we're going to have to jack it up. Going to have to make it like 12, 13, 14, 15 grand maybe next year. We're trying to raise $10,000 in the month of May for the Humane Society of Louisiana. Their website is humanela.org. All the proceeds go directly to them. I literally am just on radio, on television, on my show hyping this. That's all I'm doing. None of the money's coming through me, and then it goes to them, straight to them. humanela.org. Just click on the top of the website page, that little banner ad going across. You'll see me and Blue Boy laying there. humanela.org. Our Humane May fundraiser has started. Please donate. Happy Jazz Fest Thursday. Yeah, you right. Speaking of Jazz Fest, 3 people taken to the hospital, hit by a truck near the entrance to Jazz Fest. I don't know the particular details, if the truck was going down the street fast, people just didn't see it, or if the truck wasn't paying attention. But 3 people hit by a truck near the entrance to Jazz Fest. Their Jazz Fest day wrecked. Thank God, it could have been a lot worse. But they were sent to the hospital. I guess I wrote impressive, and then I drew a line through it. Jazz Fest shrimp are local shrimp. Isn't that sad? Like, I was like, my first thought was impressive, you know? Hey, gold star, pat on the back. Doing what you're supposed to do, serving local shrimp. But this CD Consulting, you remember a few months ago, they went to like Beaumont, Baton Rouge, Biloxi, and Tampa, Florida. And they went into local restaurants claiming to serve local shrimp. Gulf shrimp. Baton Rouge had the best percentage. Only 30% were fraud. Only 30%. So like in Baton Rouge, you go get a shrimp platter or a shrimp po' boy. 2 out of 3 chance you're getting local shrimp, but a 1 out of 3 you're not. And they were the winners of the 4 cities. Beaumont was like 60%. Biloxi, 81%. 4 out of 5 chance you're not going to get local seafood at a place claiming they're serving local shrimp, I should say. Local shrimp. From a place in Biloxi claiming they're serving local shrimp. 4 out of 5. Tampa, Florida blew me away. 96% fraud. Like a 24 out of 25 chance you're going to get frozen shrimp from Taiwan or China, anything but Gulf shrimp at places in Tampa claiming to serve local Gulf shrimp. 24 out of 25 lying. 24 out of 25. Biloxi was 4 out of 5. Beaumont was 3 out of 5. Baton Rouge was the best. Only 1 out of 3 fraudulent. Jazz Fest, 19 different shrimp dishes were tested. 19. 18 of the 19 passed. One was like 2 shrimp dishes on the same plate. And I guess the smaller shrimp weren't local and the bigger shrimp were, or vice versa. So one of the dishes that someone served saying it was local, it's like a 2 shrimp dish. One of the shrimp dishes was local shrimp and one was not. But 18 out of 19 at Jazz Fest. That's pretty good. That's like a fraud rate of like 6-7%, like a 93-94% chance you're going to get legitimate Louisiana shrimp. Now, this was funny. They did mention a dish, and the fish that the dish is served on is not what the fish dish is named. The shrimp are Louisiana local shrimp, but the fish isn't. It's just kind of funny. We're just testing shrimp, not the fish. The fish one's kind of obvious. 766-9480 is the phone number. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. The Plaza Tower. The Plaza Tower may finally be getting redeveloped into senior housing. I'll fill you in on that. And historic Pensacola, that beach sign in Gulf Breeze, the multicolored tarpon with the sign from like the 60s saying, you know, beaches this way. It says world's whitest beaches. Are they talking about sand color or the people on the beach? Wow. I think it's sand color. 766-9480. They changed that sign. I'll fill you in on the details when we return.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Producing tomorrow's talk radio today, Corey Johnson.
This is tomorrow's newspaper. Precisely. I already went further ahead into time to see what else happens.
Your View, Louisiana. That's Cox Channel 4 in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Lafayette. And live streaming at CoreyTalks.com.
Future. Unbelievable.
All right, I got the closest thing to the DeLorean and being able to go forward in time and find out who's going to win, place, and show at Saturday's Kentucky Derby, and come back in the DeLorean and get the info right now ahead of Saturday's race. I got the best thing, the closest thing to that. It's not Marty McFly. It's Tim Rice and his annual Derby letter, picks, and much more for Saturday's Kentucky Derby. Tim Rice joins us from the North Shore. By the way, if you go to his website, Innisfree, INNIS free, innisfree.org, you can check out this year's Derby letter, and you can check out going 20 years back and see how he did. And he's been doing it for 40-something years. I want to say since I was in high school, I think he started this. Tim, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing good, Corey. Thanks for all the nice comments.
I think I was in high school. When did you crank that bad boy up? 1980 or so?
1980 is exactly the first year.
Wow. I mean, that's unbelievable, man. Not only I was barely in high school, 8th, 9th grade. I'm 50 something now. So 41 years. No, what am I saying? 46 years, right?
Let's see. This one, I think it's the 47th.
47th. Unbelievable. That's unreal. Why did you start this in 1980? How did this start way back in 1980? Just you and some buddies, your interest in horses and maybe having a little expertise even way back then?
Right. Well, I had been following horse racing for many years before that. And every year, people that would bet on one horse race a year, the Kentucky Derby, would pester me to tell them who to bet. And so I started sending out what was kind of like an inter-office memo that summed up. I wrote a commentary on every horse. Nothing like what I do now, but it was fairly limited. But I probably went to maybe 50 people in my office, and I'm assuming this was just printed up and you stapled it together and passed it out. Yeah, and
wow,
we would fax it to people.
Wow, what's a fax, Tim? I'm joking, but go on.
Well, I would say the very first letter probably had a couple hundred readers, and it just grew over the years. And of course, with the internet, that helped a lot. And then about in 2010, the Wall Street Journal did a profile on me, and that got a huge audience, obviously. And so I've in being able to put it on the internet, and of course having it be free helps too.
Yep.
There's no paywall. So I've still got some people that have been with me for 30, 40 years. It's a lot of them aren't around anymore, but I still have some regulars that email me every year about a week before the Derby. Are you going to write something this year? And so far, I've been able to accommodate them.
The website is innisfree.org. INNISFREE. Innisfree.org. Hey, Tim, a couple of things. I don't know how the early versions worked, but for the last 20 plus years, 30 years or so since I've been talking to you, you don't pick the favorites. That's sort of the easy thing. You pick a horse that can win, you think, but that's going to have a decent payday, I'm guessing. And then second, it's more than that. It's a life of love for horses and horse racing and the animals, and lots of stories and anecdotes in each and every Derby letter, right?
That's true. I try to before I review the field for the race, I always have some kind of a historical story. I try to find things that even serious fans may not know the whole story of, and that makes it a lot of fun. It takes a long time to put it all together, but it's something I really enjoy. And this year I've got a story about the horse that won the 1955 Derby, and oh my goodness, I just got an email from a friend of mine that says my pick has been scratched.
Oh boy!
Oh goodness!
Now, all right, this is interesting. Radio on the fly, Tim Rice on the fly, innisfree.org. Does all of a sudden your 2 horse go to 1 and your 3 goes to 2, and then you're trying to figure out who your 4 is that goes to 3, or the 2 and 3 stay where they are and you're going to pick another horse for as your winner? How's that going to work?
Oh no! Definitely I will move to my number two choice, and he wasn't number two because I thought he was second best. He was number two because I didn't think the price was going to be good enough. But I was looking at the prices. You know, they have early odds, and his odds were higher than the morning line. And that, of course, with the scratch, I don't know what's going to happen, but he'll still probably be 6-7 to 1, I would hope. Because the one thing that's nice about a 20-horse field is that the favorite is usually not too ridiculous because there's such a large field of money spread around.
Yep.
And the horse this year that's the favorite, Journalism, is still probably going to be 3 or 4 to 1.
Wow. The only time Journalism's a favorite would be at the Kentucky Derby in today's political world. Wow.
Well, in my in my letter, when I wrote about him, I started off by saying that he was named for an extinct profession.
Yeah, almost. So true. All right. Before you got the news, who was your winner, place, and show, and how is it going to change now?
Well, my pick was going to be Rodriguez, and I'm very surprised. I guess he must come up with some kind of minor ailment because he looked great. The last time I saw him on TV was 2 days ago, and I mean he was a picture of health. But you know, these things happen. I mean, horses a lot of time, you know, they can catch a fever. He maybe took a bad step, and you know, it doesn't mean that he's suffered any major lasting injury. He's just not. You know, if you're a responsible trainer, you're not going to run a horse in any race if they're not 100%. I mean, it's not fair to him, you know, her, the horse, and it certainly isn't fair to the people that are betting on it.
We're visiting with Tim Rice. His annual Derby letter is out. Innisfree.org, INSISfree.org is his website. He'll have an updated Derby letter, I guess. A little change in that. So where should folks go right now, Tim? Give us again the winner and the place in the show right now with the changes.
I would move my number one horse to Sovereignty, number 18. He's by Into Mischief, who's already sired 2 Derby winners, and he's not an old horse. And he's trained by a guy that I've known for at least 50 years, Bill Mott, who was an assistant at the fairgrounds when I first met him. And he was in his 20s at the time, and then he eventually went off on his own. And he provided the biggest payoff we've ever had. In 1989, his horse actually finished second, but he was moved up to first by disqualification of the winner.
Wow.
His horse was Country House, and his odds were 65 to 1.
Wow. And what a payday.
Bill put him across. So I feel very comfortable in his hands. And I'll have plenty of confidence that he can get the job done.
Tim, any final thoughts? Innisfree.org, absolutely free, right?
It's totally free, just like the air you breathe.
Yep.
All you got to do is go on the website and you'll see a banner that says 2025 Kentucky Derby. Just click on that and it'll take you right to the story. And if you keep scrolling down, if you don't want to read the story, you can just scroll down until you get to to the race comment.
Yep.
I think it's a pretty good story, and hope a lot of people that bother to go to the website read it, because that's the biggest joy I get in this stuff is writing it. But right behind that is knowing that somebody somewhere read it and liked it.
And Tim, I guess with the scratch, you're going to be making some adjustments to that Derby letter right now. I hear your computer blowing up.
Yeah, well, I've got texts and emails coming in by the dozens. I guess everybody else is finding out about this too.
Yep.
Which I wouldn't have known if my friend. Well, in fact, you remember Angus Lynn, don't you?
Of course.
Yeah, well, Angus is the one that just sent me that text that Rodriguez had been scratched.
Wow, no, Angus is the best. I still check out his stuff on Twitter every now and then. He's missed.
He's good job.
Yep.
But anybody that was listening to this that doesn't want to bother reading the letter, that wants to bet on somebody, if I just had to give him one horse, it would be Sovereignty, number 18. And I think he's going to be right there. Although, journalism will be the favorite. Sovereignty will probably either be the number 2 and number 3 pick.
Innisfree.org. Check out Tim Rice's Derby letter, the story, the picks, I should say, all of it. Innisfree.org. Tim, always a pleasure, man. Thanks for joining us every year.
Thanks for having me, and good luck with your 5K in May.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Tim. Thank you.
I'll pick something in for sure.
Yeah, you always do. You're the best, man. You're the best.
And see you later.
All right. That's Tim Rice. Innisfree.org is the website. INNISFREE.org. Innisfree.org. He's got your Kentucky Derby picks.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Uptown, Carrollton, Riverbend, Holly Grove, Gerttown, Gentilly, Lakefront, West Bank, Lakeview. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Welcome back. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Happy Jazz Fest Thursday. Our Humane May fundraiser started today. Yeah, it's May. Can you believe it's May 1st? Already like halfway through the year, practically. Ridiculous. Time, it is a flying by. Yeah, every May for like the last decade plus, probably going on close to a dozen, 15 years, we try to raise $10,000 for the Humane Society of Louisiana. Cats, dogs, kittens, puppies, goats, horses, all benefit. Louisiana does a poor job with animals. We're not the most humane state, sadly. Facts are facts. So we try to do our part. Humane May fundraiser, trying to raise 10 grand for the Humane Society of Louisiana. All you have to do is go to their website, humanela.org. And at the top of the page, you'll see me laying there with Blue Boy. Click on that and donate. humanela.org. Hey, it is Thursday. It is a little bit after 4:30. Let's go to River Road in Arnold, right past Ochsner. It's called Stacked Gym, Stacked Coaching. You can check out their website, stackedcoaching.com. It's about nutrition. It's about fitness. It's honestly about living a better life. And the great part is there's a community of people that are all on the same page, and it just makes it a hell of a lot easier. Bradley's got a good thing going, stackedcoaching.com. Bradley Schneller joins us live on the program again. What's up, Bradley?
What's happening, Corey? What's going on, my man?
Let's get stacked, bro. That's what you usually say. Yeah, the Monday email that every member of Stacked gets with your fact-based information. I love it, man. What to eat, what to avoid, how to deal with holidays. You're nonstop, but yeah, at the end, you're always, let's get stacked. You ready to get into this?
Let's get it, brother.
All right. What do you think about, these smart watches? Folks have the iPhone, they have the iWatch, Fitbit, all these different things. The ring now, you can just wear this ring. Gives you all kind of information. I guess these fitness trackers. What do you think of all this new technology, Bradley?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan, to be honest. I wear a smartwatch myself. I do track certain metrics, but I think it also depends on what are you hoping to accomplish by using these fitness trackers. If it's to track your sleep, to log your hydration on it, to track your steps. Hey, I think that's something great. If you're using it to try to figure out how many calories you burn in a day, you're missing the point because it is not very accurate. It's not accurate at all. It's going to give you a bad representation of the amount of calories you track in a day. And really, there's a much more scientific way of finding that out, and that is something you and I have discussed before. And again, as you say it all the time, you say it every week, I say it, fitness is for wellness and nutrition is for weight loss. So let's keep the tracking to some metrics we know are pretty accurate and run with that.
All right. Again, not to be redundant, you like it. You like the technology. What are the things you like about it that you feel are accurate? Because it's funny. I think most people, the first thing they're looking at is how many calories they burn. And that's what the number one thing is all about. All the extra stuff is all leading to how many calories they burn. So you're saying 86, the calorie burn thing, that's not accurate. But what do you like about it?
Yeah, I mean, I like the thing that you could probably get for $49 with a Fitbit, and that's tracking your steps. But I do also track my sleep, which is fairly accurate. It also tracks your stress levels, which I'm kind of into, and as well as logging some other things on the watch, like your hydration. So those types of things I'm pretty into.
Hey, what about after working out, Bradley? Folks want to hit like the sauna or, some kind of heat room or something. What do you think about that?
Yeah, look, I'm way more into the sauna than a cold plunge. There are actually, not that there aren't any benefits to a cold plunge. There are. There are just a lot more proven benefits to the sauna. And for me personally, it's much more enjoyable than jumping in an ice bath for 3 to 5 minutes.
Now, sauna is what? Sitting in a room with a towel wrapped around you and it's like steam?
Well, or you could be naked if you're in a private sauna.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. You can do the infrared sauna too. There's a lot of great establishments around town you could go to. Like I generally go to Melt in Lakeview. I think they also have one in Elmwood, if I'm not mistaken. And actually, the research lately has proven you want to go for hotter for about 20 minutes, somewhere around 200 degrees, rather than trying to go for 165 degrees for 40 minutes to an hour. But I don't think a lot of, let's say, consumer-driven sauna establishments are going to allow you to go up to 200 degrees for 20 minutes for safety reasons, of course.
Yep. So what are you doing in there, Bradley? You just sit there and just sweating like crazy?
Yes, I am sweating like crazy. I might watch some Netflix. I might do a little reading. I might just sit there in silence,
Yep.
But one of the biggest benefits of a sauna is to reduce your stress levels. It decreases your cortisol levels and allows you to chill out.
More so than like releasing toxins from your body through the sweating. It's more.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. There is a little bit of supported research on a heavy metal detox in a sauna, but it's not enough to bank on it.
Yeah. Well,
there are much other ways, there are more scientific medical ways to go about that rather than through a sauna.
Well, you heard me kind of ask you the question in my peace out, bro, like,
Right.
altered state of mind thinking that it's going to detox me.
I figured that might come up.
Yeah. So strictly the sauna, it's not about like the heat or sweating and releasing toxins. It's strictly about stress relief. It calms you down.
No, not at all. Not at all. There are cardiovascular benefits to it. There's immune benefits to it. Longevity benefits to it. It's not just the stress levels there. Okay. It is good for your heart. It is good for your muscles too. It helps fight soreness. Some would say like a cold plunge, which we could get to next, does that as well. But the problem with the cold plunge, other than you have to get in there for at least 3 minutes at 50 degrees, is that if you do that immediately after a workout or within a certain time frame, you're going to stunt your muscle growth, especially from a long-term situation. So, I think people that really do enjoying the cold plunge, I think they enjoy it from an endorphin benefit. It kind of wakes you up and gets you going.
Yep.
But one thing I want to caution people is do not get in a cold plunge and expect it to burn fat. It is not true. You have to be in a caloric deficit in order to lose weight.
And I would also say, I'm not kidding, like if you have like a heart condition or something, saunas, people are saying stay away from a sauna, but cold plunge could kill you, it seems like. That has to just be
it can put you into some type of arrhythmia.
Jeez and Pete's, man. I grab a beer out of an ice bucket and my hand's cold and it's painful. So
look, and
seriously,
kind of like wrap it up with this is, whether you're looking at a fitness tracker, whether you're looking and, at using the sauna or a cold plunge, you have to remember, like, what is the reason I'm trying to do it? And is there some type of real scientific benefit to this method? Or am I just wasting my money? Or do you just like it? Because a lot of people get in a cold plunge and they just like it. And that's perfectly okay. But we just always want to know the reason why we're doing something. And is there a real benefit to doing it?
If you have any questions, Bradley's got answers, especially when it comes to nutrition and fitness. StackedCoaching.com is the website. You can take a virtual tour. You can call Bradley, set up an appointment, consultation. The gym may or may not be for you. The great thing is Bradley's going to tell you all of that, give you all the straight information. Bradley, it's StackedCoaching.com. What about social media?
Yeah, we're at Stack Coaching on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, but you probably have to be a dinosaur to still be using Facebook. I'm kidding. But we're also at Stack Coaching on Facebook.
Stackedcoaching.com's the website. Bradley, always a pleasure, brother. Happy Jazz Fest.
Hey, y'all. Enjoy Jazz Fest, brother.
Yeah, you're right. That's Bradley Schneller. Stackedcoaching.com. Check it out. That's the place I go. And I'm telling you, I've never been like dormant, but I've been close to it. You know, I was a decent athlete. I wasn't some, high school star or college level athlete, but I wasn't unathletic. I can play sports. I'll go try to learn a new sport. I have no problem doing that. I can move around still and all that kind of stuff. But, I'd get on my bike every now and then and do that for a little while. I'd jog for a little while and then stop doing that. It was all on and off for decades and decades of adulthood. After college and playing a little, Metairie C League flag football with friends in my 20s and getting into my early 30s, kind of stopped. So, yeah, almost 20 years of not doing a whole lot, but just this sporadic running or biking every now and then. But no, then I joined Stack Gym and it all changed.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Not a politician or part of a political machine. Corey Johnson.
I propose that I use what's left of the town treasury to move to a more prosperous town and run for mayor.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
That was LaToya Cantrell from earlier today. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Paint ain't paint. You've been hearing Joey Helm say that. He's right. Benjamin Moore, the world's best paint, the inventors of color paint. I'm going to make it real quick. Imagine the smallest paint molecule and imagine a balloon, okay? That a balloon is that molecule. With Benjamin Moore paint, the outside skin of the balloon is, say, red, and the air inside the balloon is red. All other paint, just the outside of the balloon is red and the inside's clear or white. That's why other paints don't last as long. They fade, they chip, they get dull. Not Benjamin Moore. When you go with like Aura or Regal Select, I painted my house with Regal Select. Lifetime guarantee. Never, ever have to paint my house again. Yeah, paint ain't paint. Go to the experts for over 55 years in New Orleans. Now in Baton Rouge. Helm Paint and Decorating. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating. Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Hey, Miss Peaches, I got a question for our listening audience. It's not affecting me. Doesn't happen where I live. I just see it all the time. I don't hear you. You got to hit that button on the board. You know those controls over there by you?
Buttons?
That push that one in and now talk.
Oh, test. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Hello? Anyone home? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Good.
Oh, by the way, your boy sold Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds?
What is it? Ryan, the actor.
I know him.
He sold what is this? His cell company called?
Oh, what is it? Mint?
Mint? He sold it to T-Mobile for like $500 million.
Yeah. No big deal.
He's smart,
he also
man.
owns a
soccer team. It was like third, fourth tier. Now it's second tier. It went up in value, worth like tens of millions to hundreds of millions.
He's even done that with his. This is going to be horrible. With his wives, you know, he's used Sarah Johansson, now Blake Lively. But
yeah,
there's all kinds of.
Yeah, supposedly that's all nonsense. That, like it didn't go
but
down.
he was also Deadpool, and that's the big thing.
Yeah, no, I like Deadpool.
Uh-huh.
I wish I healed as quickly as him. I got cuts on my hands. It takes like weeks to heal.
That was a good movie.
Lawn folks, landscapers, you know, folks that cut your grass.
Mm-hmm.
Blowing the leaves and the clippings out in the street. Like that's all right? Or they should be blowing it in a pile and bagging it.
Pile and bag it in an ideal world.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. But that's not how it works.
Well, I think for most, I think the landscaper with pride, I think, is like that. But I see a lot of them, they're like out in the street and they're blowing all the crap in the street. And then my car drives by and just spreads it around down the street. That's how they get rid of it.
So I live in an apartment building And my husband and I joke all the time because they're big about keeping up the lawn. But the guy he is the leaf blower. I want to know what he gets paid, because I'm not kidding. He's blowing leaves in front of our apartment maybe every other day. And I know he's just taking it and blowing it on the street.
Yeah.
That is so annoying sometimes. But yeah, they're not really picking it up. They're just blowing it
Yeah,
onto
just
the
blowing.
street.
It's like, not. It's like people throwing trash out the window of their car in a way. Not my concern anymore. No, throw it in this thing called a garbage can.
Right.
Now, what do you think? 766-9480. When I was a kid, dogs used to do what all over the place, and no one was like, pick it up. And then like about 40 years ago, maybe, literally someone put a sign out, don't, or pick up your dog poop or whatever, something like that, or don't have your dog go in my yard or something. And now I think it's kind of common courtesy. I mean, when I walk Totally, I bring a bunch of those, plastic grocery bags in my pocket, and I scoop up the poop. So it's kind of like, the rules. But I don't know when the lawn, I think it was a blower thing. Like, because if there's a broom, I don't know if you're just sweeping that out in the street. It's like as much work to sweep it out in the street as to sweep it into a pile. But blowing, you're just blowing it out there and done. No blowing it into a pile and then having to get the broom to make the pile tight and then, bagging it or putting it in a garbage can. Anyway, lawn folks blowing their leaves, clippings into the street. Is that okay? 766-9480. If I like your answer, I'll give you a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate, because Mother's Day is a week from this Sunday. Can you believe that? And Mom wants a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. I've got some trivia questions. How this one wasn't answered yesterday, I do not know. Yesterday, 213 years ago, why is that significant to us? Yesterday, 213 years ago, why is that significant to us? We had a caller saying, Battle of New Orleans, but War of 1812. 213 minus, or whatever, 2025 minus 213. Wow, 1812. He's right. He's right with the year. Incorrect with the answer. The Battle of New Orleans was the War of 1812. Took place in December of 1814 through January of 1815. So I want to know why yesterday, 213 years ago, April 13th, 1812 was significant for us. 766-9480. You got the answer. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. I'm going to answer that Circle Grocery one today by 6 o'clock, unless you got the answer in the 5 o'clock power hour. Why Circle Grocery? Why the name Circle? For that grocery store on Clavens and St. Bernard Avenue and the tallest hill in New Orleans. Blue Boy, you know the answer. Don't say it, buddy. You're not eligible for a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. You're a what? A long, lean basset hound. You have a long back. You'd like a deep tissue massage at the Woodhouse. I hear you, buddy. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. We're coming right back. Blue.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m. Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Oh, yeah, here we go. The 5 o'clock power hour is upon us on a very nice Thursday afternoon. A little warm, but boy, this morning it was a little scary. I was like, no, we don't need rain on the second weekend of Jazz Fest Locals Thursday. But the clouds opened up around 8:15 this morning, but it was a quickie. You're right, Drew Brees. It is New Orleans. From Houston, Texas to Jacksonville, Florida, down to Orlando, the wettest part of the country. We get about 60 to 65 inches of rain. It's just down the I-10 corridor. Houston, Lake Charles, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Biloxi, Gulfport, Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, Gainesville, Jacksonville, down to Orlando. 60 to 65 inches a year. 60 to 65 inches of rain a year. So, no, I was a little nervous. Man, so many people want to go to Jazz Fest. They got their tickets. They're planning on it. Their favorite band's playing. They're excited about it. So many vendors. It's a big time of year for them. They make a lot of their money those 2 weekends at Jazz Fest. You don't want them losing a day or a half day or any hour even. And then the folks at Jazz Fest themselves putting on the event and building the tents and building the stages and setting everything up. It's a lot of work. And of course, the acts. Everyone's getting paid to play. Some it's their first time. They're at Jazz Fest. Some are veteran groups been around for decades. Everybody loses when it rains. So, no, I was a little nervous this morning, but it was a quickie. Lasted about 45 minutes. Wasn't too severe. I don't think Jazz Fest today is full of puddles and all of that. It's pretty dry out there. Probably just kept the track from dust, blowing all over the place when the wind picks up and wet the infield a little bit, but a few hours for it to dry off. I think everything's fine out there today. Happy Jazz Fest Thursday. Yeah, you right. No, high and dry out there from 11 a.m. through right now. No rain. Let's hope it stays that way. Right now, tomorrow, there's like a 40% chance of rain. But if you look at the hour to hour tomorrow, just lots of clouds and sun and no rain percentage really out there. I mean, very low rain percentage tomorrow, but 40% overall. Maybe that's overnight. Maybe that's Friday night leading into Saturday, because Saturday's supposed to be kind of a washout, like an 80, 85%, 90% chance of rain. But, we're still a few days out. Things could change. They had a storm that rolled in. What was it? Maybe it was the one earlier today that most of that went to the North Shore and went to over towards past Christian, Mississippi and missed us. So maybe if it does rain on Saturday, it'll head north. Who knows? Sunday's supposed to be fantastic, like lower temperatures. Like starting out the morning around 66, 67 degrees instead of like 70, 72. So maybe 5 degrees cooler when we start Sunday morning. And the high temperature Sunday, 78. We don't even get into the 80s on Sunday, and sunny. Sunday is going to be a special day at Jazz Fest. Let's keep our fingers crossed that the rain is Friday overnight or Saturday overnight and doesn't affect Jazz Fest one bit. No, it's a big money generator. People put their time in. Why would anyone wish for that? I don't know. There are some sick individuals out there. I'm not going. People having a good time. I'm glad it's raining and they're getting their day screwed over too. God. Thank you, Mr. Miserable. You sack of crap. Jeez and Pete's. Yeah, happy Jazz Fest Thursday. Our Humane May fundraiser started today. It's May 1st. Every year in the month of May, we try to raise $10,000 for the Humane Society of Louisiana for cats and dogs and kittens and puppies and horses and goats. Keep animals safe. Keep them from suffering. Treat them humanely. That's what Jeff Dorson and the crew at the Humane Society of Louisiana does. That's what they do all the time. HumaneLA.org is the website. Right at the top, you'll see me laying on the sofa with Blue Boy. Click on that and donate. Please donate and donate generously so we can hit our goal of $10,000 and save a bunch of cats and dogs, kittens and puppies, goats, horses, all kind of animals. HumaneLA.org. Horses. HumaneLA.org. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 85 degrees, maybe some rain tomorrow. Saturday doesn't look good. Sunday looks gorgeous. 3 people hit by a truck near one of the entrances to Jazz Fest. They were taken to the hospital. I had to scratch out the word impressive, but that's how I started my headline. Isn't that sad? When I tell you the story, you'll go, yeah, Corey, that's sad. Jazz Fest shrimp are local, like they're supposed to be. CD Consulting. If you remember, they came in a few months ago. They hit Baton Rouge, Beaumont, Texas, Biloxi, and Tampa, Florida. And they went into restaurants claiming to serve local shrimp, Gulf shrimp. In Beaumont, I think it was 60% fraud. Like a 3 out of 5 chance you buy a shrimp sandwich, I guess it would be over there, a shrimp platter in Beaumont, Texas. 3 out of 5 chance it's going to be imported shrimp, not local Gulf shrimp, not fresh local Gulf shrimp. 3 out of 5 chance in Beaumont. Worse in Biloxi, 81%. 4 out of 5 chance you're not eating local shrimp at a place that's telling you it's local shrimp in Biloxi. Tampa, Florida was the worst. 96% fraud rate. A 24 out of 25 chance that you get a shrimp sandwich or platter in Tampa and it's supposed to be Gulf shrimp. It's not. 24 out of 25. Talk about just outright lying. Baton Rouge, of those 4 cities where they did this, they were the best, 30% fraud. So Baton Rouge, it's a 7 out of 10 chance you're going to get the real deal. But still 3 out of 10, unacceptable. Jazz Fest, they CD Consulting checked out 19 shrimp dishes. 18 of the 19 were local shrimp. And there was one place that served 2 different shrimp dishes, like you ordered either one or a combo plate, and one of the shrimp dishes on that was local, one wasn't. That was the only outlier, 18 of 19. So, yeah, I was about to say, impressive, good job. Wow, you get a gold star, a pat on the back for doing the right thing? I don't think so. It's, the sacks of crap that don't do the right thing. I'll never forget. I forgot who the loser was that was running the Louisiana Seafood Board. He was the president, and his son got busted for selling shrimp labeled as Louisiana shrimp, and he imported them from Mexico. And his dad was the Louisiana Seafood Commission, the head board guy. Just mind-blowing. That's Louisiana. That's America, money, capitalism. No, it sucks. It's sad. Look, I like paying less for stuff, but if I'm making crawfish etouffee, I'm not going to use Chinese tails. I'm going to just not make the dish. If it requires 8 pounds of crawfish tails and they're $20 a pound or something, I'm going to have to bail on that dish. But I'm not going to buy the Chinese crap for $5 and fake it. I'm not. But that's just me. A lot of people do. I mean, I'm across the board on that. I don't believe in lab-created diamonds. I'm going to buy my future wife or girlfriend or whatever real diamonds, 1 billion years old. I'm not buying a fake Louis Vuitton bag. I'll buy a bag that's $100 if that's all I can afford. But if I want to get the Louis Vuitton bag, I'm going to bite the bullet and pay the thousands of dollars for it and get the authentic bag. I'm not going to buy the fake stuff. So no, when it comes to food I'm consuming, come on. We live in New Orleans. This is ground zero, arguably in the world, for the greatest seafood bounty right in our backyard. I'm going to eat some crap? Something imported? No shot. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Historic Pensacola Beach, that rainbow tarpon sign in Gulf Breeze. You're in Pensacola proper, the city, the town. You take the bridge across the Intracoastal Waterway, or I guess across the bay, and you end up in Gulf Breeze. Then you take that other bridge to Pensacola Beach. Well, that sign, historic Pensacola Beach sign with the rainbow-colored tarpon, it's been there since 1960. It now says Gulf of America. And America's like red, white, and blue like a flag. It also says world's whitest beaches. Are they talking about the sand or the people on the beach? Oh, boy. I love Pensacola Beach myself. My favorite, Pensacola Beach.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint. Supply. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog shit.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Happy Jazz Fest Thursday, New Orleans. Hey, I've got 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse Day Spa, which is important considering a week from this Sunday is Mother's Day. Don't blow it, guys. And don't stress out like, what are you going to get her? You get her what she wants, a day of relaxation at the city's premier day spa, the Woodhouse. The website to book an appointment or even print a gift card, any denomination, woodhousespas.com. 5 locations, 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore, Baton Rouge. woodhousespas.com. Yeah, I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. I thought this was going to be answered yesterday. Surprisingly, it wasn't. 213 years ago, yesterday. Why is that so significant for us here in New Orleans, in Louisiana? April 30th, 1812. Got a great caller yesterday. I think it was Timothy saying the Battle of New Orleans, the War of 1812. Great answer. Deductive reasoning, logical, but incorrect. April 30th, yesterday, 213 years ago yesterday, April 30th, 1812. Why significant for us here in New Orleans, in Louisiana? 766-9480. You got the answer to that question? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. I'm going to give the answer to this in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So both of these questions, they've been holdovers all week. Why Circle Foods? Why Circle Grocery? Why is the name Circle Foods? Circle Grocery, right there on St. Bernard and Claiborne. And it doesn't mean circle the wagons, you're in the hood. Okay, that isn't why it's called Circle Grocery. Could it be like Brenda and Bill Circle? The Circle family started it. Could it be that the building is curved, circular in shape? 766-9480. Why is Circle Grocery on St. Bernard and Claiborne's? Why is it called Circle Grocery? 766-9480. Maybe I gave you the answer. Maybe it's the name of the family. Maybe not. Hey, tallest hill in New Orleans. Tallest hill in New Orleans. 766-9480. You got the answer. I got 50 bucks to the Woodhouse for you. 766-9480. And yeah, 213 years ago yesterday, April 30th, 1812. Why significant for us here in New Orleans, in Louisiana? 766-9480. Boy, the Plaza Tower may have a buyer. Joe Yeager's estate owns that black and white 44-story building on Howard Avenue at Loyola, where pieces of the marble exterior have fallen off, fenced it off, all that. Big old netting at the top in case anything falls, it catches it. The Plaza Tower may have a buyer who wants to redevelop it into senior housing. And if you remember another Joe Yeager property, the old Naval Support Station on Poland Avenue is now going to be, I think, NSA apartments, like Naval Support apartments. And it has nothing to do with military. They're all gone from there, but they're redeveloping that site finally. Brian Gibbs from Gibbs Construction kind of took the baton from the Yeager estate and ran with it. He was friends with Joe Yeager, wants to see that project through. One of the people, one of the groups that he is connected with, the same group that wants to redevelop the Plaza Tower. And they have a track record in about 3 states, I believe, doing senior housing. So any development of that Plaza Tower, senior housing, whatever, is a plus. It's been an eyesore for 20 years since Katrina. I lived within falling distance of that building. Some people may have remembered the Houdat Shack is what a lot of folks called my house. It was at, 730 South Rampart, right across the street from the downtown post office. If the Plaza Tower were to fall towards the French Quarter, it would have crushed my house. So I was in the shadow of that building, literally. My house sat in the middle of a parking lot with nothing else on that entire block except this one building way on the end, the Duggins Law Firm. And then in front of me was an entire empty parking lot. I remember like at midnight, I'd have sitting out on my deck with the Bose outdoor speakers on my balcony, and they'd be cranked up and sitting there at midnight because it wasn't waking up anyone. I was the only person in the neighborhood. Now it's part of the South Market District. It's crazy. But that Plaza Tower, I remember, I think I moved in that I bought that place and moved in there like 2004, maybe a year before Katrina, something like that. And I remember going in the Plaza Tower because they still had some, I think the Louisiana Health Department still had a few people in that building, and they had like a little like store at the bottom. So I'm like 100 yards from there. I'd go into that store and get water or whatever, something like that. But old Diamond Market, they used to deliver on a bicycle to my house. It was pretty cool. And then New Orleans Center was a mall. And there was Baskin Robbins, Chick-fil-A, all kind of crap in there. Walk to Pelicans game, walks to Saints games, all that. It was pretty cool. I remember Channel 4 did a test piling in the parking lot in front of me. Channel 4 was going to build their new building right there. And then Katrina hit, and they're like, we're going to stay in the quarter. And then I took a few feet of water in and out the house and, stayed there for like another year. And then I ended up renting it out for a little while, and Channel 6 rented it. And that's when I think it became the Houdat Shack to most people. And then the South Market District folks. So I like them. I think the Schwartz guy and the other guy are Domain Properties. They're good people. But they went in on a Saturday and demolished my old house. Like on a Saturday. Because I think if people going into work Monday through Friday would have seen the wrecking ball, somebody would have been like, Louis Armstrong played in Corey's house. That was an old bar. That was an old part of this historic district. That's a historic building. I was going to get the placard and all that, but I ended up selling the building, but they tore it down on a Saturday. Some friends of mine called and said, come check it out. I was like, dude, I love that place. I don't want to see a wrecking ball tearing down my place and looking inside and seeing the walls I painted and stuff like that. So I was like, no, I don't want to see it torn down. I don't want to see it torn down, and I don't want to physically watch it being demolished. But anyway, such is life, Miss Peaches. You go on, you move on. But that was a pretty cool place. 766-9480. One of the girls I worked with in radio called it Little House on the Prairie because it just sat out all by itself. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Yeah, I can't believe no one has the Circle Grocery answer. Why Circle Grocery? And I can't believe no one has tallest hill in New Orleans. And I can't believe no one knew what yesterday was 213 years ago, April 30th, 1812. Those are my three questions. Anybody's got an answer? I got $50 for you. Good at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. Hey, television audience, if you own a smart TV, you watch it on Cox 4, Spectrum Channel 333. We're done at 5:30. We roll from 4 to 5:30 on Cox and on Spectrum. So in about 30 seconds, it'll be 5:30, and we say bye-bye till mañana. But if you have a smart TV, you can pull us up on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. Pull us up on your smart TV and keep watching till 6 o'clock. Don't have a smart TV? Smartphone, tablet, pad, computer, laptop, YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Or check us out on Oh So Fine 93.9 FM. Yeah, we roll seamlessly till 6 o'clock. Miss Peach is fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, is it a problem when someone's going, say, 27 miles an hour in a 35, especially if it's like River Road, like a one-lane road? No one in front of them. Speed limit's 35. They're doing 27. It's like, dude, it's 8 miles an hour less than the speed limit. Speed limit is the limit. Not a problem. Or is that painful? 766-9480. 766-9480. Is it a problem when you're going down a street that's a 35 and someone's doing 27 in front of you? Is that a problem? Let's go to the phone lines. And another one for you. Lawn folks, landscapers, people that cut the grass, blowing the grass clippings, leaves into the street. Is that okay? 766-9480. Rob joins us in New Orleans. How are you, Rob?
I'm good. I wanted to make a comment about something you've been commenting on, but I want to guess on one of those questions.
All right. Which question do you like, Rob?
April 30th, I'm not sure, but 1812 was the year of statehood.
April 30th, 1812. What about the Battle of New Orleans?
That was 1815.
Yep. Late 1814, early 1815. April 30th, 1812, statehood for Louisiana. That's your answer?
Yeah, but you said New Orleans, so that's probably not what you're looking for.
No, I said New Orleans and Louisiana. You are correct.
Yeah, you're right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Trying to throw people off, Rob, with my tricks.
Well, Corey, but I want to comment. That's not what I was calling. I know one of your big issues, which I completely agree with, is why our auto insurance rates are so high.
For game-changing innovation, look
hang
to
on
the
a second,
Latrim
Rob.
family.
Hang on. Sorry, Rob. Sorry about that. Go ahead. I'm a complaint about auto insurance rates. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, but it's one of your big issues. You had the insurance commissioner on. That was great. I heard the whole thing. I've commented on it before on your program. And one thing you pointed out is these acts. And you said you'll see two billboards next to each other. Corey, these days every ad is one of these personal injury lawyers. I went to Jazz Fest today. I was walking out. Did you know when you walk in, and Jazz Fest is sacred, Gospel Tent is sacred, the first thing you see when you walk in,
Morris Bart
Tent is sponsored by Morris Bart.
Yep, he sponsored it.
I don't know that. I think Morris Bart's a nice guy. I mean, I'm sure some of them are better than others, but that's how ingrained it is in New Orleans culture now that the first thing you see when you walk in at Jazz Fest is
an injury attorney sponsoring the Gospel Tent. No, it's almost like they should say no to Morris Bart, because that it ingrains him as part of New Orleans. It makes it normal. It makes it acceptable. It makes him like he's, like you said, he's a good guy. Check out the video. Have you seen the video, Rob, that I posted?
No.
At Twitter?
No.
It's unbelievable. No. I mean, it is a police cruiser pulling over a truck. So it starts from the dash cam of the cop car, from like an Explorer, I guess, SUV. All you see is the cop at the window at the door of the driver, writing a ticket, asking him for insurance, just talking to him, whatever. Then you see all of a sudden the police cruiser start creeping up slowly towards the truck, and it taps the back bumper of the truck. And then the cop looks to the right. He's like, wow, runs over and puts the vehicle in park. He obviously left it in drive, was running a plate or whatever, got out the car, and the car didn't move. It was up against a rock or a stick or something. Then as he sat there talking to the driver for, 20 seconds, a minute, it started moving forward. It literally taps the bumper of the truck, taps it. Morris Bart is handling that case, that claim from that person in the truck. Morris Bart wants $1.5 million. $1.5 million. I'm telling you, the person in the truck, you watch the video, they didn't break a fingernail. They didn't spill their coffee. It was filled to the top. I'm telling you. You watch the video. It's sickening. $1.5 million. Morris Bart would walk with $600,000, Rob. And that's our money. That's you and me, taxpayers, insurance people in Louisiana. We're paying a few pennies, a few dollars every day to these idiots. So, yeah, that sucks that Jazz Fest would take Morris Bart's money and normalize that guy. Well, not
only normalize it. Okay, but real quick, if you got a second, I've said this on your program before. One time, I literally tapped someone because they slammed on the brakes. She got out of the car. She was fine. I gave her, we exchanged information. She called one of these other lawyers. It wasn't Morris Bart. The next thing you know, I'm meeting with them. She's got a neck brace on. I called my insurance, USAA, the military insurance. I said, don't you dare give her one penny. They're in San Antonio, Texas. She said, where are you from? I said, New Orleans. She rolled her eyes on the phone and said, yeah, of course, New Orleans. She said, let me tell you a story. I'm dealing with a claim right now where they said they were hit in a parking lot. We have security camera footage in the parking lot, and they were the only people there. So we have a reputation. But I want to say about what I saw with the gospel tent being, not only does it normalize it, we all love Jazz Fest, right?
Yep.
We all love all of those stages. But if Jazz Fest is sacred, the gospel tent. I mean, I know you're a Christian. It doesn't matter what Christian, whatever religion you are. The gospel tent is sacred. You walk in Jazz Fest, there is a personal injury law. We have not only normalized it, we've sanctified it.
Yeah, no, it's sad. I thought
sanctified personal injury lawyers, and it's not good because, as you say, hey, I don't mind if people make money, but your insurance, my insurance, everybody listening, your insurance is paying for that.
Oh, no, there's no doubt. We're all paying more, and these guys are rich to wealthy because of it. The advertising, it does two things. Tim Temple brought up the second point, which I thought was brilliant. It encourages people to sue. It encourages people to sue. And Tim Temple said, a lot of people assume if you get in a wreck, you have to hire an attorney to make an injury claim with the insurance company.
Right.
Like hiring an attorney is like required. That's what it implies. I thought that was genius by Temple because these ads go after. You can take this however you want. People can be offended. I don't give a crap. These ads go after the lowest common denominator. They go after the common folks, the average person that doesn't know a lawyer, doesn't have a friend that's a lawyer, and it encourages the common man, wink, wink, look the other way, to embellish, exaggerate, or outright lie about an injury. And it costs from the common man to the rich and wealthy money every day.
Well, don't forget, the feds went after that one law firm here that was hiring people to smash into trucks on the highway.
Yep.
But I want to say I learned two things listening to you and Tim Temple, which I did not know. One was, and you brought this up. You compared it to other states. You said, look at the size of the state of New York. We have as many or more claims. And the other thing that he brought up is how few of these cases go to trial. They know they're going to.
Oh, no. The injury claims in Louisiana, 66,000 last year with 4.5 million people. 66,000. New York State has 22 million people, and they had 60,000 injury claims, 6,000 less than us. We have 4.5 million people. They have 22 million. They literally have about 5 times our population, and they have 6,000 less injury claims. No, it's obnoxious. And I love that you brought it up because it's so true, Rob. At Jazz Fest, at the gospel tent, for crying out loud. And it normalizes, it makes Morris Bart like he's just a regular businessman that's legitimate, and he's sponsoring this. It's sad. It's pathetic. Shouldn't take his money. Rob, hang on. Don't go anywhere. That's Rob in New Orleans. Get some info from him, Miss Peaches. He's got 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. He got the answer right. Boy, from 3 questions, they're all going to be gone in a few minutes because I'm going to give the answers to those other 2, which were real holdovers from like Tuesday. Yeah, April 30th, 1812. Yesterday, 213 years ago, statehood for Louisiana. We officially became a state. Nice. 766-9480. Rob just picked up 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. You can too. Circle Grocery on St. Bernard Avenue and Claiborne, right under the I-10. Circle Grocery, the big white curved building with the nice arches. Circle Food, Circle Grocery. Why Circle? What's the circle part mean? Family name, the building's curved in shape. 766-9480. Give me the answer to that. If not, I'm giving the answer to that. Since it's a holdover from Tuesday, I'm going to give that answer in about 15 minutes. Also, the tallest hill in New Orleans. Tallest hill in New Orleans. 766-9480. I'm going to give the answer to that in a few minutes. Jazz Fest weekend number 2 underway. Yeah, you're right. Day 5 of 8. Winding down in about the next hour and 20 minutes or so. Mother's Day, a week from this Sunday, people. Take care of mom. Get her what she wants. A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Hey, lawn folks that blow leaves, grass clippings out into the street, is that okay? 766-9480. Or should they bag that stuff? Hey, is it a problem when you're driving down, say, a 35-mile-an-hour street, especially if it's just one lane in each direction, like River Road, say? That's a good example because that's a 35. And someone with no one in front of them is doing 27. Is that a problem or no? They're just 8 miles an hour less than the speed limit. No big deal. 766-9480. Hey, every day this program on radio, on television, on YouTube. Brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park doing you right in Kenner. Lamarck Ford, the big store, over 45 years. #1 Lincoln dealership. You need a commercial truck, van, or SUV. You own a business. Lamarck Crescent City Ford, over 80 years. The Ford truck dealership for New Orleans. Every day this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, why not? You can do it. You can do it, Miss Peaches. Oh, boy. Wow. Miss Peaches, what are you thinking? Wow. Don't worry about it. All stressed out over there. You have a meltdown over there. Relax. Wow. Miss Peaches. Oh, boy. You just reload all of it. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Yeah, that historic Pensacola beach sign that a lot of folks know it in Gulf Breeze. It's the tarpon that's like multicolored. It's been there my entire life, I think since 1960, before I was around. They changed the sign now. It says Gulf of America. Gulf of America. You say, world's whitest beaches and Gulf of Mexico. And now it says Gulf of America. America is kind of red, white, and blue, like a flag, the word America. I would have just left it Gulf of Mexico. I've said this myself. I mean, I'm a New Orleans native, Louisiana native. Louisiana's on the Gulf of Mexico. If in 5, 8, 10 years from now, we're still calling it the Gulf of America, then maybe I'll fade on over to that, like in 5, 8, 10 years from now. But my entire life, it's been the Gulf of Mexico. Like Donald Trump or not, he's kind of, eccentric, egomaniacal, narcissistic. I know you Trump lovers hate this crap. I mean, God, at least admit it. Vote for him all day. But admit that, the tweets, all the obnoxious behavior. Come on. It's mind-blowing that folks just can't admit that. I'm not saying don't vote for him. I'm just saying you got to admit that much. No, it's just, will it just go away? Will the next president come in, Republican or Democrat, and be like, we're not acknowledging that? The indigenous people in Alaska like Denali, not Mount McKinley. I just think this is all that's like the cheapest political moves possible. It is strictly like, doesn't put money in your pocket, doesn't educate your kids, doesn't lower the crime rate, doesn't help the economy, doesn't build infrastructure. And if it makes you feel good, I guess like a Lee Greenwood song makes you feel good, I don't get that. I really don't. Gulf of America. Well, no, I do get it. It's all politics, but it's the Gulf of Mexico. It's been that way for 400 years. So a single president with an executive order is not going to get me to change it, Democrat or Republican. And I think chances are better than not that it'll be reverted back to Gulf of Mexico by whoever this next president is, Republican or Democrat. I just think this is sort of silly stuff, kind of silly. Anyway, that historic beach sign in Pensacola now says Gulf of America. I don't care. I don't have a problem with it, but I'll always say Gulf of Mexico. I mean, most of us always say just going to the Gulf, going to the Gulf Coast, going to the Gulf Coast. 766-9480. I wrote impressive by this headline when I was writing out my show sheet this morning and this afternoon. I just scratched out impressive. Jazz Fest shrimp are local. CD Consulting went into 19 different Jazz Fest shrimp dishes, and 18 of the 19 are in fact local, like they're supposed to be. So I was like saying, impressive. Like, no, that's how it's supposed to be. What's sad is places like Beaumont, Texas, where they're claiming restaurants and places are claiming it's local shrimp, and it's a 3 out of 5 chance it's not. It's worse in Biloxi. 4 out of 5 chance it's not local shrimp when the place is saying that. Tampa, Florida was the worst. 96% fraud rate. That means there's a 1 in 25 chance if you're going to a Tampa restaurant and the restaurant says local shrimp, 1 in 25 chance you're going to get local shrimp. Baton Rouge, of the 4 cities, did the best. 30% fraud rate, which is unacceptable. But they were number 1, 70% legitimate. 7 out of 10 chance you go to a Baton Rouge restaurant, get a shrimp po' boy shrimp platter, it will be Gulf shrimp. Jazz Fest, 18 out of 19 shrimp dishes were local. Yeah, I don't think you get a gold star or a pat on the back or anything like that. It's just like, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Shame on Tampa. 96% fraud rate. That's just mind-blowing. 24 out of 25 places are lying. Fresh local Gulf shrimp. 24 out of 25 lying in Tampa. The tests don't lie. Hey, when we come back, the Plaza Tower on Howard Avenue and Loyola. It's been basically vacant for 20 years. Multiple investors have come in and tried to redevelop that building. One group did about $13 million in asbestos remediation. Like literally dropped 13 million. That building sold for like 500 grand, less than $500,000. And then Joe Yeager bought it from that individual a few years ago and was hoping to redevelop it. Now Joe Yeager's estate says they may have a plan in the works with a buyer. I'll fill you in on that when we return. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Tomorrow, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Already Friday, unbelievable. The usual characters, Fridays with Fletcher Mackle. Michael Heck's going to join us from Greater New Orleans Inc. as usual. That segment's always brought to you by Latrim on a Friday. Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, all they do is grow, and that means they're hiring. If you go to their website, there are literally dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs. The last time I was on their website, it was like 60 or 70 jobs available. If you live on the East or West Bank, they're conveniently located under the UEP Long Bridge in Elmwood. If you live on the North Shore, Latrim has an I-12 facility. You don't have to come across the lake every day. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com. Mother's Day is a week from this Sunday. Can you believe that? Don't blow it, guys. Get her something good, like a Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Jazz Fest weekend number 2, about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 10 minutes left. Winding it down around 7-ish. I think just about 6:50 to around 7:10. Everything kind of, the last performances on all the stages, the final acts finish up. So Jazz Fest, day 5 of 8 winding down. 3 more to go. And great news, tomorrow, I was on weather.com. I don't see a single hour tomorrow except like maybe one late in the afternoon where it's double-digit percentage chance of rain. It's all like 6, 8, 7% chance. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be fine, like no rain. Saturday is a different story. Hard to find an hour at weather.com that isn't north of 30-40% for Saturday, especially when the sun comes up. Saturday morning, Saturday midday, Saturday afternoon. Pretty good chance of rain. Sunday, like zero, sunny and incredible. Temperatures in the 70s all day Sunday. We will not hit 80 on Sunday. At least that's what they're forecasting. That rain expected in on Saturday is, I guess, some kind of coolish front. We'll see. So Jazz Fest, like today, tomorrow looks pretty damn good. And Sunday looks excellent. Yeah, today was a little scary. It rained like 8:15 till around like 9:15, but that was it, a quickie. No, I said yesterday, rain predicted for Thursday, Friday, Saturday Jazz Fest. I said yesterday, I guarantee you at least one of those 3 days, it will not rain at Jazz Fest, and I'm already right. Today it hadn't rained at Jazz Fest. And tomorrow it's not expected to rain. So just yesterday, today, tomorrow, Saturday, rain expected. Saturday really appears to be the only day. And let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe it'll be an overnight gimmick. You know, Saturday night into Sunday, it rains overnight. Like we need like a midnight to 5 a.m. rain, you know, that kind of gimmick. Oh, boy. This headline that I wrote, some clown broke into a Frenchman Street business. No, it was literally a guy with a clown mask on. So it was a clown, not just some jerk clown like being a criminal, but he had on a clown mask. Obviously knew the business had cameras. Stole a bunch of electronic equipment. Yeah, so some clown broke into a Frenchman Street business. It's literally and figuratively true. Yeah, he was definitely, he wasn't clowning around. He was being a criminal. Hey, it could be worse. Could be John Wayne Gacy. Google that guy if you're like under 40. Or better yet, don't Google John Wayne Gacy. You know who's creepier than him, Miss Peaches? That's pretty creepy, the clown Gacy up in like Illinois, I think. The guy in Florida, it came to Louisiana actually too. The guy that was going into the sorority houses, that murderer.
One out of Baton Rouge?
Well, no. What's that?
Was that 20 years ago? Huh?
It was longer than that, but I forgot the guy's name. Let's see. The problem with this guy was total BS artist and like a decent looking guy. Like he could just, the fact that he was mentally deviant just was, he could get away with it for a while.
I remember that,
the Florida State University mass murderer. Let's see what that idiot's name was. Florida State University mass murderer. From a few decades ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, that doesn't seem that long ago in hindsight.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I remember it being like in the 2000s, like 2000.
No, they're giving me all that. But I know where that idiot, I think that idiot got arrested in Pensacola. Mass murderer arrested in Pensacola decades ago. Serial killer. I think it was Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy. Yep. 1978. Yeah. I mean, Ted Bundy, like you look at the dude, he's like a decent looking guy. That's what the scary thing is. What a sicko.
Very much.
Blue Boy. What? Thank Miss Peaches. Thank everybody for watching and listening. And what? Have everybody return tomorrow. Fantasy Friday edition of the program, 4:00 sharp. Thanks, Blue Boy.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.